Hello everyone. We'll be starting the session now. I'll just share my screen. Uh, is it visible? Just drop me a text or like.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so will be the timeline for today will be we'll be building a basic HTML CSS website. Not a whole website, full-fledged website, but we'll be building some like components what we have provided, similar to what we have provided in the tasks. And then after that we'll have a like short session on Git and GitHub, like how to you can push a code to a repository and then host it using GitHub pages. So stick around till the end for that. So before that, I hope everyone has VS Code installed, right? Is there anyone who doesn't know how to install VS Code or doesn't have like, you can raise your hand. Okay. I guess everyone has VS Code. Cool. So there are like two two projects, like two basic UIs. The first one is this. You can see the FAQs, uh, either this or like this social links, GitHub front and mentor LinkedIn. So you guys can either choose any of these. So like put a drop whichever you want me to build, like either one or two. I'll start from the basics and then build upon the task. So this is one and this is two. Like you can choose. Just drop it in the text box. This is the first one and this is the second one. Okay, one, two. So basically, what I meant is that there are actually two UIs. This is the first one, and this is the second one. So you can choose either any of these to build. Like it's your choice. So I'm leaving it up to you. So you can either put this is one and this is two. So like you can see that I'll put the link in the description. So you can go to either of these and choose like which one do you want. So the majority one I'll build. So we have two ones and three twos. One.
I guess it'll be better if we raise their hands. People who want one, raise your hands.
This is the first. This is the first UI.
Only
You
five,
guys know.
8 people, 9, 10. Okay. Okay. People who want to,
This is the second one.
people who want to raise your hands. Okay. Looks like one is the winner. So
Okay, so we'll be building this FAQs with the basic like this image and then the model. So okay, raise those who have already worked with HTML and CSS. Can you raise your hands? Like you have built something and you know about what HTML and CSS is. Can you raise your hands? Okay, 12 people. Okay, good. Okay, anyway, I'll start from the basics. So let me go to VS Code. So basically, I hope everyone knows how to work with VS Code. And if at all you have any doubts in between, you can just stop. me and ask right there. It's an interactive session, so if you have any doubts, just feel free to ask me in between or anything about related to HTML CSS. So first I'll be creating a file. So I'll name it like example.html. So .html is the extension for it, and I'll create a CSS file called styles.css. So first of all, I'll tell you what HTML and CSS is. Okay. So first of all, the common misconception everyone has is that HTML is a programming language and sort of something like that, but no, it's not a programming language. It's a hypertext markup language. So basically, what it means is that it's the building blocks of the web pages you visit. Uh, let's say you're in any web page. Let's go to any web page. Uh, can anyone hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, okay. For some reason, my internet is. Just give me 1 minute. Sorry. Just give me 1 minute. Sorry guys, I'm back. Sorry for the. So yeah. I hope everyone can see my screen. So as I was saying, if you go to any web page, whatever you see here, the structure is mainly built in HTML. Like so, HTML defines the structure. So if you double click it or right click it, I mean in laptop I said sorry. So if you right click it, there will be an inspect section. So if you inspect it, you can see the whole web page how it is built. So you see here the body. So this is HTML head and body. So you can see in your VS Code the same will be reflected. HTML head and the body. So what HTML is it? HTML is the root element that conveys the browser that it is a HTML document, and the head is the page where you like the web page title is there. So the for example this MDN web docs has this title right here, MDN web docs. So that is the title which can be like changed in the head. So on, yeah, the body is where the content goes. So we'll be running this right now. You can either directly go and open this file .html directly, or what you can do is there's an extension in VS Code called live server. I think some of you might know, or if you don't know, just search for live server and just install this. I'm already installed, so it's coming disable and install for me. So once it is installed, it will just take few seconds to install. At the down here in the bottom, you can see here HTML, and there's this thing called go live. So if you click go live, it will run a live server, which there will be a reload. That means whatever you type here, let's say whatever you type here, it will instantly reload in the browser so that you can see your changes are reflecting instantly. What it does is basically it creates a local server in your PC and it runs. So I'll be clicking go live. Uh, I'll open it in my browser. So you can see this is just a plain document. This is what you'll have in most of the starting HTML and CSS file. So I'll go to VS Code. I'll type something. As you can see, it is reflected here. I'll just zoom in. Yeah, you can see. it is reflecting here. So basically, whatever you do there in the document, this is how you build stuff. Any doubts? Yeah, we'll start. Uh, if there's any concern, just let me know. If I want to speed up the pace or slow down, just let me know. You guys can talk. This is just a open session, like it's not very formal. So,
Subbu, you continue.
okay, thank
Guys, if you have any doubts, like just stop us right there. We are here for you only. Um, Stop us right there and we'll answer your doubts, okay?
To do we need to do any extensions? Do we need to download stuff from going into CSS statement?
you. I'm not getting you. Like your voice is not clear. Can you repeat? Okay. I'll continue with the.
Shnap hui. You can type in your query in the chat box.
Yeah. Okay. I'll continue the meeting. So yeah. So what I was saying. So this is the bodies where the content will be mostly reflected. So CSS is something which styles the document. So whatever you see based on the colors, stuff, everything, it's by CSS only. The full form is cascading style sheets. So how you link to a HTML file? It's very easy. In the head tag, what you do is you basically create a link tag, and then in the href attribute, you just put the name of the style sheet what you have. For me, it's styles.css. You can have any name. For example, if you have it like anything tps.css, in the sense like you can link it as tps.css here, so it'll automatically get linked it. So and then in the body there are like few tags which you'll be learning, like in html, basic html. I'll teach the basic tags. This is just a demo project, so I won't go in deep of what everything means. So there is this h1 tag, which means like this is uh, the top level header of the largest heading available in HTML. So if you see it in the document, it's just reflecting as a big one. So if you go for a H4, it will be much smaller than this. So yeah, I hope you understand what that means. There are H1 to H6 tags, and then there are paragraph tags, which means like these are just paragraph tags. And before that, I'll teach you what are block level and inline elements in the browser. Okay, consider this as a browser window. Okay, so let's say that I define a paragraph element. So this is a so you can see it is reflected here, and then in down I'll be writing this is span. I'll get to what is span in a minute. Just give me this is second. Okay, so in the document, like in the browser, there are two types of elements. One is called the block and another is called the inline elements. So block elements are basically which take the whole space of the browser. uh, that is the whole width of the like the browser space. So for example, the p tag, the paragraph tag, takes the whole length. As you can see here, this is the paragraph. You can see after this no content is displayed in continuation with the paragraph. So apart from that, that's what block level means. And then yeah, so yeah, and then the span means basically, this is just an inline element. So inline element in the sense, it will just take the space it needs. So I define two span elements, right? So you can see each one coming next to each other in the document right here. So that is what this basically means. So that is, so paragraph is a block level element, and there's something called div, which is like, which you will basically use it in everywhere. So yeah, these are just some basics. And then in styles, in CSS, for styling, you can just basically, I'll write a, h1 tag heading, and for the, to select some elements in the, like in the CSS, you can just directly type the name of the tag. For example, if you want to select the h1, type a h1 and then open like the these brackets to, yeah, so parenthesis. So and then that you can define the whatever, there are like many properties to CSS. I'll not teach every bit of what CSS is. There's this MDN docs which you can refer. This is like the best docs in sense of like anything. So if you go to references, there will be HTML CSS. You can read about it here. There will be many tutorials. Uh, this is the best docs you can get for HTML CSS. I'll put it in the chat box. So yeah, so this is the heading element. Say if you want to change the color of the heading to blue, right? What I'll do is that there's this color property blue. So in VS Code, if you type C, there will be autocompletes for like there will be suggestions for everything. So this color, you can see it's coming here. If you click either enter or tab, it will just put that line out. So I changed the color to blue here. So if you see it in the document, you can see it's reflecting as blue. So yeah, so these are the basic things, and then there are like background color. Let's say I want the background to be black, so we can see we change the color to, we can change the by default the color for every, like the text element is black in the document. So as you can see, I told this is a block level element, right? You can see that it is spanning the whole width of the browser. You see a little bit of space here, right, in the, in between the heading on the left. Ignore this. You can see a little bit of space here on the top and like everywhere. So that is just a default margin and padding which the browser applies by itself. So I'll teach you what margin and padding is. So these are the like concepts of like CSS only. Let's take for example, this is the browser window. So our heading element is currently like this, right? It has a space here and then on the left and right. So basically what it means that the browser applies some margin and padding to the elements. So what margin is basically in the sense, let's say example, these are two paragraph elements, right? So if you apply a margin here on margin right, the margin has like four properties: top, right, left and bottom. So if you apply a right margin, it will just push the element, whatever the element next to it, it will push the element. So if you apply a margin bottom to here, let's say example, if you apply a bottom and you put another paragraph tag here, it won't come close to the first paragraph tag, it will basically push it down. So that's what a margin means. Margin basically works outside the element, that is the outside of the element. But whereas padding is the thing, let's say this is the paragraph element and you have some text inside, like these are some text which is inside, I'll mark it as T. So padding is where you put it inside the box, that is why you apply the space inside the box. So yeah, so this is just the basic concept. So there is this selector that is called the star, which is the universal selector. So if you apply margin 0, let me just, yeah, I apply the universal selector to the margin 0 and padding 0, what it does it basically basically means that it applies the margin and padding to be 0 on whole the web browser itself, like on the document. So if I go to the document here, you can see there is no space right now. As I said, there's only there was the initial margin at the top at the starting. So if you want to apply still a margin, let's say I told that margin works outside the element, right? So let's say I want a margin on all sides. So margin basically takes four arguments, like 1, 2, 3, 4, which means like all the top, left, right bottom will be covered. So if you put a comment like say for example margin 10 pixels, it will be moved 10 px on every side. You can see top, left, and bottom also there will be margin. If you click in the right click and inspect, and then click this little bit of a little icon here, you can see a line coming on all sides. So that is the basically the margin. So here you can see, I'll just like so yeah, here you can see the margin is 10 px. If I unclick it, you can see that it's getting decreased. And then the margin, if I want to change it here and play with it, I can do. So if I put 70 px, it will be a huge margin. You can see that whole highlighted color. So that's what margin means basically. So yeah, if I want to take about basics, it will take a long time. So I think this is enough to start the project. So I'll start with the project directly. So we'll be building this, right? So basically we'll be building this. So that's the background image, right? We'll split the components, what and all is there. So there's this background image, and there's this basically this little box which is centered in the like the center of the web page. So basically what we do is that first we'll be putting the image. For image, there's a specific tag called image. So if this is the image tag. So basically what you do is that you provide a source to it. Source to it in the sense it can be any random image URL also. If you search for images, let's say for example, if you want to put this image, you can right click on this, and you can uh, copy the image address and put this as a source. And if you go into a document, you can see like uh, let me just zoom in. Because of the dimension, it is like a little messed up, but you can see the images coming. So that's how you define the source. I already downloaded a banner. Okay, so for putting it in the HTML, you can download anything you want. So they have used this some different image. So I'll be using this image. So how you link is that you put all your folders in all your like files in the same folder. In my case, there's a folder called sample which has the HTML style in the banner. So what you do is that in the source you put a dot and the slash, which means that basically uh, dot slash means that in the same directory. That means in the same you are referring to in the same folder. So in the same folder you can see VS Code suggests some what are the things available in the same folder. So if you take banner.jpg, it will just display it in the browser. So as you can see initially here there are like little margins. So first what I'll do is that I'll put a margin to 0, padding to 0. uh, yeah, you can see that there are now no margin and paddings right now. So after that what I'll do is that I told you like how to select the this element, right? So say here I want to span it to the full width. Here you can see the banner is fully spanned right till the end. So for that what I can do is that first this is the body tag, right? And then this is the image. So basically, the width and height of the element depends on the vertical and horizontal like thing. So this is the width, this will be the height, right? So there are like many units which you can use in CSS. For example, there is px, which means basically means px pixels, and then there are m units. So you can study about these in the MDN docs. I don't want to waste time on telling what all this means. Basically, you need to know what pixel means. So this is just the pixel, like you would have seen in images. What a pixel means, a single unit which represents colors based on like it represents the bit color. So that's the pixels, like how much you want to move. And then there's this percentage units, like where you basically put it in the percents, like meaning 10% or 20%, something like that. So like 50%. So what I'll do is that currently when I click inspect, you can see my HTML is coming, like it's spanning only till, like you can see a little bit of number in the down, which means like 1043 into 323. So what I want to do is that I want to make the HTML and body fully spanned, like it means that from top to bottom of uh, the browser. So what I'll do is that I'll select the HTML, which is the root element, that is this HTML, and then I'll put a comma. This is basically meaning you can select uh, sorry multiple selectors using commas. So you can choose many of these. As I told earlier, you can choose h1 like this, right? We applied color white. So basically you can choose like HTML comma body, and then I'm giving the width to be 100% of the uh, screen, and then 100% of the height also. So as you can see here, the body, the HTML, when I click over it, you can see a highlight color which spans the whole element. So currently the image is like we haven't given a width to the image, right? So say for example we want to give the image a width of 100%, so that it means that it spans the whole. So now right now it's spanning the whole element because the image is inside the body. So basically what it means is that body is the 100% and image is like taking the 100% of the body's width, but the height is still like not defined because height I haven't defined, and then the image is taking its default height which is has it's in the like the rendered which I have downloaded. So yeah. So say for example I wanted to be a smaller height, I can either do like some 180 pixels, let's say 180 pixels. It's a little like you can see it is like very compressed. I'll make it to 220. Okay, I'll make it to 300. It's still looking a little bit compressed. Okay. Uh, okay. Yeah. 30% looks fine. We're just trying to replicate this design. Don't ignore the compressions because of the file which I have downloaded is of low quality, so it's not proper. So we have like got this background image. So now what we want to do is that we have to create this box, right? This border which is like square, like rounded box which has to be in center, and you can see a little bit of like highlighting, like how it is like in top of the like you can see like it is like coming out of the screen, something like effect which is there. So that we'll achieve it through in CSS only. So now as the banner is done, we'll move on to the building this box. So basically what I'll be doing is that in the down to the image I'll be creating a div. So basically div is just a you know division element which is also a block level element. As I said, a block level element takes the span of the uh, whole span of the browser. So inside the div, there are class names which you can use it for, like in the styles. Say for example, we have selected this image, right? So what this means is it's selecting the image elements which are present in the whole HTML. That means is that what it means is that it will select any image that is there in the HTML document. So you can't differentiate between, like, say for example, there's this another image which I want to use. Say for example, there are like three to four like images which I want to use, but I don't want it to be the same height, width and height. You can give a class to it. What it means is that class is basically it identifies the element in the CSS, and you can also use it for JavaScript, but we'll do that later. So in CSS, what you can do is that you can put a class name here. So I'll just put it as container, and then here you can to like define and select a class from HTML. What you can do is that you'll put a dot first and then the class name, and then you'll open the brackets. So here, let's say for the background color, I want it to be like blue violet. Say for example, I give some content inside, which you can see here, little bit down here. You can see it is spanning the whole element with the blue color. So yeah, that's how you use class. So I'll create a container, which means that it will contain all the elements which is there. Basically, let it be this text content FAQ, what is front end mentor, how it will help me, these little icons and everything. What is there? It will be there. So and then so I'll first what I'll do is that yes, it's just the name of the class. You can give any class names. For say for example, if I want to give sample tph, I can copy that here, and then say for example background color, I want to change it to brown, and then I'll change the color to be yeah, I'll just change the background color to brown. See here how I have used sample tph. In HTML also I have used it. Can you repeat what a div does? Yeah, sure. So basically what a div does is so it's basically a division element. So think of it as a, you know, a building block used for, it's a, like you can read about it in the docs if you want, but I'll give you just a gist of it. This is a short term for division, which is meaningly like shortly it means that you can organize content on a web page. You can't so you can't always like put a p tag or h1 tag and define the elements, right? So div is just like a default you know, division element where you can structure the web page properly. Say for example, if I go to this mdn docs, right, if I give inspect right here, you can see here that there are many divs right here, right? You can see there are this div, inside that a header is there, inside that another div is there, another div is there. So basically what it means is that it's like a division element, and you use that for like dividing the elements. Say for example I have two paragraphs, right, in the document. So say for example I have to divide it, for example, for a better structure I can use two divs inside. So that's what basically it means. See here I have given sample tph, right? So I have given it a sample tph class name, and here I have given the background color brown. So here you can see the background color is brown, and then the sample tph is like by default the color is black, so the document is displaying it in black. So yeah, that's how classes work. I'll change it to container for a better naming convention. So yeah, yeah. So this is the thing which you want to build. You can see as it has a background of white. First, we'll be giving a background of white, background color of white, and then like it will have a color of black. By default, it is black. You don't have to specify it; it's optional. Uh, then you can see it's coming a star sample tph, and then inside this we'll have like first we'll try to center it in the document, right? So there are many ways you can center it in the web browser. Okay, so like say for example this is the document, like the web browser, this is the main screen which you see in your laptop or your pc. So say for example this is the container we have. I'll mark it with a c. uh, Ignore my handwriting. I'm just using my trackpad to draw. So this is c. This, say for example we want to put it in a like center. There are many ways you can do it. There are like there are like three to like there are, I think there are like many ways, like around 10 to 11 ways like how you can do. I'll teach you like the simple way to do. What you do is that there's okay, I'll teach you which method can you use. Yeah. Okay, I'll teach you the position method. Let's see what position means. So there's this attribute called position. So what it means is that I'll just change it to absolute. So what it means is that uh, so basically there are like many. Hello, and you, I'm audible, right?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, okay, I just got. Okay, so there are like many position attributes which you can use. Like say for example, if I give position, you can see there are many like absolute, fixed, relative, static, sticky. By default, everything is static. So like it's like the basic question like which you see everywhere. Say for example, if I want to change it to absolute, what it means is that you see here in the document. How everything is like the sample tph is there, right? I'll remove the position first. Now the position is static by default. Say for example I'm adding another paragraph tag which means tph. So you can see that it is coming down to the element. So basically what now right now the browser is doing is that it's like structuring the elements. So first the image will be there, and then the this container will be there, which is the division element, and then like the paragraph tag will be there, which is the paragraph element. So these are all structured, right? say for example, I want to like remove this from the document, which means that I want to take it out of the document structure. What you do is that you give a position absolute. So as soon as you give that, the TPS disappears. So what happens is that it goes behind it. So what happens is that you give a z index of, like, I'll just show you what it means. So basically what z index means, so say for example, like, you guys understood what absolute means, or shall I teach you again? Hello. Okay. uh, so I'll teach you what absolute means. So basically I'll teach again, just quick overview. So basically, absolute means it will take it out of the document. So basically, what it means, a position with a element with a position attribute can have a z index. Basically, what it means is that they will have, like, let's say for example, this is a paragraph tag which is being absolutely positioned, and this is also a paragraph tag which is being absolutely positioned. So say for example, we have a z index of, we have a property called z index which has 2 and this one is -1. So when you give it as -1, it goes behind the element. So what it means, it is like stacking it, stacking the elements. So like, uh, I'll just show you an example of an image. See here how 1, 2, 3 is there, right? So 3 has the highest z index. So it means is that 3 has the highest z index in the sense. So see how here the TPH is like displaying, right? Because I have given a z index of -1 to the container, because this is the container, right? This is the container, so it goes behind the TPH, as you can see here. So that's how we do it. So now the this container is out of the document flow, so that's why I can't select it. It's out of the document flow. So either what you can do is this, there's this transform property. I'll just like write the code and then you want that. So as you can see here, it is like centered horizontally and also vertically, horizontally and vertically. So what it does is that first of all, it's taking the position to be absolute, that is out of the document flow, and then z index basically means is that behind everything. We just don't need it right now because maybe we'll give a higher z index of like maybe 10, which means is that it will be above all elements. And then you know what background color means. So basically when you give position absolute, there are like top, left, and top, left, right, and bottom properties which you can use. So basically what I'm giving is that from the top, push it down to the 50%, from the left 50%. So what it is that from the top it pushes 50% down, and from the left pushes 50% down. It's because right now we are using the absolute element, so we can position it around. Say you would have seen like some like chatbot, like you would have seen in some websites like the chatbot that will be down here in the bottom right corner. So that's how, let's say for example, we have to do that. So what I'll do is that I'll do like top 90% and then left 90%. So you can see here, I'll just increase the font size. So yeah, this is, you can see it is coming down here. So basically what it does is that it pushes like out of the document flow, and you can position it anywhere in the web inside the web browser. So yeah, I'll just change it to the default. Yeah. So this is how we position it on the center. So and then next we have done the positioning part. Like I'll share some more videos like uh, basic, like how to like water position and stuff like that. Uh, yeah. So now we'll be building the UI, the main UI. The template will be enough. If you want to try responsive, you can try. It doesn't need to be responsive. It is not mandatory. You can just make sure like it looks good on your on the desktop view. So, yeah. So this is the container. So right now we have this h1 FAQs. Right now the time is 10:15. I'll try to wrap up before 10:25. Okay. So this is FAQs. So what I'll do is that first I'll be like removing the container, and then like I'll be giving h2 tag, uh, which means FAQs, and I'll be giving an sample energy star. Okay, so if you see it in the document, it will reflect FAQs. And then after that, what we have what is front end mentor and how it will help me. Okay, so we'll just put a paragraph tag. uh, so and then it has some bunch of uh, another like text, so I'll just copy this, like paste it 3 times. And then we have like three uh let's see here. Now you earlier asked, like someone asked what's the use of div, right? So here you can see is front end mentor free. Can I use front end mentor projects in my portfolio? How can I get help if I'm stuck on a challenge? So basically what you can do is that you can provide three divs, and I'll just remove the spaces. Yeah, three divs, and what you can do is that I'll just close this div, and then here you can put the options. I'm just putting random doing different span. Yeah. So basically, you remember how I told about the inline and the block level elements, right? So basically, inline elements take the whole width. So that is the paragraph tag. The span element only takes its required space. So that's an inline element. Say for example, if you put another span, it will just come here. Here it will just display it here. But if you put two paragraphs, say for example, if you define two paragraphs, it will come below each other. Like here paragraph, another, and then there will be a paragraph down, which means that it's a block level element which will take the whole space. You can see here how you can see the h2 is a block level, p is a block level, there was also block level. So that's why you can see each of them is coming under, like you can see each of them is coming line by line at the down. Don't worry about the styling, we'll do it in a bit. Just we'll make the structure. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 lines, 1 5 6, yeah, and then random comment goes here. So yeah, so this is like basic, and then like this is like our basic structure. Now we'll style the element, uh, the container. So see how this container has a blue color, sorry, the white color background, and the whole background has some like sky blue color. So what we'll do is that we'll go to the styles. See, this is the HTML body, right? How I told, like if you right click and click on inspect, sorry, you can see the whole body here. So what you can do is that you can provide background color here. We'll just put it as sky blue. Okay, that looks a little bit odd. Okay, I think this is fine. Uh, I'm not giving the exact color. I'm just like giving the base color. So the body right now is fully background color is blue. Sorry, this color, which is like a combination of red, green, and blue. And then apart from this, our background here is white because see, mentioned as I have mentioned here, background white is there. So after this, see how the space here, right, between the star, between these every elements, like on the left side, on the right side of the card, and then the top and the bottom. So you remember about padding, which I told, right? Padding is the thing which you give to the inner, which works on the inner. So here is the padding. So I'll give a padding on all the sides. So every property here also works on the same. So the top, right, left, you can give whole things. If you just give padding of like 20, let's say 25 px, 25 pixels, it applies padding to the top, left, right, bottom, everything. So right now you can see there is some space here, right? So if you click on inspect, you will be like, if you click on the container, you will be like there will be like this highlighted color where you can see your padding, and here in the styles you can change your padding. Like if you want, you can increase it, which will just like increase the space inside the uh, container. So yeah, if you refresh it, it will just go back to the original code what you have written. This is just for testing it out. So right now we have like achieved the padding. So and notice how each elements have space down. So I told like for the space down, you can use margin, right? Say for example there are two paragraph elements and you don't want them to be at the like you don't want them to be like joining, so you can give a margin here. You can give a margin here. Say for example, under FAQs we need a big margin. So let's come to the HTML. See here this H2. So I'll select the H2 and then open the bracket, and I'll give it a margin bottom of like 20 px. See how it pushes it down. So I apply it. I'll apply like same padding. Sorry, same margin for the other things also. Uh, every paragraph, for the paragraphs I'll have margin top of 10 px, margin bottom of 10 px. Okay, and then what we'll do is that we'll here these are the div elements, right? You can see a little bit of line going there. So you can either use a border around the border is something which you give around the element. So say for example this is our div element and you want a border, there will be a border on the every side. So you can also specify the border on the top, bottom, or like left, right, or like anything on related to it. So yeah, and then like what I'll do is that there is an element called HR in HTML, which is just like basic. Uh, it's just a a horizontal line. So I'll just copy paste it everywhere in between. Like so, yeah, you can see how there's like margins here, like not margin, like a line there, which is like a horizontal line. So that is the use of this HR element. And then now what we'll be doing is that uh, there's a lot of space between here and there also. So what we'll do is that under the div, for every div we'll copy this. I'll select the div, and what I'll do is that I'll just change the padding bottom and top. I'll just change the padding. You can see here, right, in the document here, there is a little bit of space here, and there's a little bit of space here, and then these are equal. So what you can do is that I'll just remove the div, because everything the div, if I put the div to the whole, it's selecting the all the divs. So what I'll do is that right now I'll select this element and provide it a margin bottom. So let me just increase this to be 20, 20. So this is our, what is this front end mentor, right? So we have to select this. I'll give it a class name of uh, push it down. Okay. So I'll just put a dot, the basics, the name down, and I'll provide it 40 px down. So as you can see here, these two paragraph elements are having a margin top and bottom of 20, and then I'll push it down to this alone. So this has a unique class of like push it down. So when I target it, it's just making the margin bottom like 40 px down. So and then inside of the like the div element, I want it to be, you can see here there are spaces between the horizontal line between, right? So what I'll do is that I'll go to the div, select the div element, and give it a margin top of px. Yeah, you can see here how it is like, because what's happening here, you can always inspect it. If you click this little icon here and you hover it over this, you can see how the div has a margin on the bottom and bottom and top. So if you just unclick it here in the right side here in this part, you can either change it. If you want, you can test out what if I want 20 px on the top, and then like 20 px on the bottom, you can see how it is changing. And if you just refresh the web page, it will go back to the normal. So you can see it is just like done. We'll just increase the uh, pad margin top and bottom to be 20/20 so that it looks a little bit. Yeah, so right now the next thing is you can see how the corners are rounded, right? So that is in that's in the container, right? So we'll go to the parent. That's the this is the div. This is the division section which has all the h2, the paragraphs, div, everything. So what I'll do is that there is this property called border radius, which basically means it defines the border radius of the uh, like the whole element. So say for example, if we have div element here, this is just square, right? Say if so for example, if you want to make it a rounded thing, so this will be just down. And then if you apply it to be like a border radius of, say for example, let's apply 12 px, it will just be rounded along the corners alone. So you can see how little bit rounded it is. If you give like huge values, it will be like very messed up because it's trying to be a circle, right? So if you give 50%, what it means is basically it transforms into a circle, but you can play around with those values. But right now I'm giving 12 px, so you can see like how it is like 12 px. So and then what you can do is that maybe I'll change it to 15. Yeah, I'll change it to 18. 18 looks good, I guess. Yeah. And then what you'll do is that for the text, for the font family, you can use the predefined font family in these styles. Say for example, if I want uh, system UI, open sans thing, say see how the font is getting changed. You can play around with this font family. Just type font family, and then like VS Code will suggest you a list of things. Say for example, if I want this Sego UI, you can see how it is different. I'll change it to the Apple system. Looks fine for now. So that's this but icons missing, right, which is here. And then also you can see this is bold, and then this paragraph right here is very light. So what you can do is that you can go to the we want this, what is front and mental, how it will help me, what is front and mental. We just want this to be light, right? So we can either change its color. So let's go to here. We are already mentioned the unique class name for it. So we'll just add it, increment the classes here, whatever you want to add it. So say for example, I want the color to be, say for example, I'll use a RGBA. You can use any of there are hex color digits, which means like I'll show you to in a minute. And there are normal, and then there are RGBA, and then there are much more like HSL, like there are much more variants which you can use. So RGBA, what I'm doing is that I'm just giving a white with a zero 0.4 opacity, let's say, or maybe 0.7. Uh, sorry. I think, yeah. What I'll do is that I'll make it a bit dark. Yeah. So like grayish, you want to give like, say for example, if you type gray, you can see how it is gray, and you can hover over the color here, and you can move the cursor here, and then that's this. You can find the RGB here. So if you click once, it will show you the hex digit. Click again for the HSL. Click again for, like, there are many things which you can represent. For now, I'll just keep it in RGB, or like say for example, you just type gray, and then you can change the values here. Like hover over this, and then like change it to a much lighter value, and you can see it's changing. So and then we want the other things to be bold, and then you can see the FAQ is like large here, right? So we'll make that into a, what we can do is that we can either increase its font size. Say for example, I want it to be 40 px, right? And then we'll make, it's already bold because it's in H2, right? Already bold because it is already in bold, because we have H1 to H6, which are headings, right? So headings are always bold in HTML. Uh, and then for the paragraph tags and the div, we have to, for the paragraph here, and then the div elements, we have to make it bold. So I'll target the div right now. So what I'll do is that I'll give a font weight, which is basically You can VS Code always suggest you 100. You can see in the left it's displaying a 10 ultralight. It's already 10:30. Just give me 5 minutes. I'll run it up. Light and then like normal, medium, semi bold, bold. So say for example I want 700. See how it is changed because this is also say see we have given how it will help me. Random command goes here. What is pushed down? So everything changes to be like font weight is bold right now. So you can see how the developments are changed right here. So yeah, see, I made a mistake right here. You can see this is also in bold. This is also in bold. Uh, it's because like, can someone tell me how it is bold? Does someone have any idea? I just made a mistake, but if anyone can find it out, I know how what's the error, but I just want you guys to find out if you can. See, I'll show you the code once. See, this is a div, right? And then I want these divs to be bold. So when I select as a whole div, it is giving a margin top and bottom font weight for every div. So keep in mind that our container is also a div, right? This is also a div, right? See, for example, this has the margin bottom. See, it has a margin bottom of top, bottom font weight 700. But I don't want this to be 700 inside everything. When I give 700, it's taking the universal divs which are available in the document. So our container is also a div element, right? So it's applying the font weight 700 to all the elements inside the container. But I don't want that. I want only for the specific how it will help me random comment goes here. So I'll give a class name bold. Here also I'll give a class bold and then class bold. What I'll do is that I'll just cut this and then bold and then I'll put it font weight 700. You can see this is getting bold and then we want this was also to be bold, right? So what is front end mentor and how it will help me? So I'll give it a bold class. We have already defined it here in the styles. That means the font weight is 700. You can see that it is like the font weight is 100. So we have reached like the end, but we still have this icons. I'll just show you how to quickly add the icons. There's this one package called Fontasm, which is like the basic like standard thing how you define icons in your HTML. So when you go to Fontasm, I'll share you the link in the meet right now. I'll share everything in the group afterwards also. Like so, so here when you log in, you can find your kits and you can download also. So when you go to your kits, I already created this kit, but you can add new kit. Like for the I have used the free trial. You can only use one kit in your free trial. As I already have one, it's not letting me create another. So I'll go to this kit. Once you created this, it will just be basic. If you add kit, it'll just you can click next, 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 and it will create you a kit. And then if you click this kit inside, if you come down, there will be this easy installation, and then there will be this script tag. Just copy and then read the instructions here. They have given copy your kits unique embed code into your HTML's head. So I'll just copy and then put it inside the head tag, which is here. So I'll just put it down here and then start placing icons in HTML's body using our simple icon syntax. So now I'll go to their icons. uh, I'll type for circular minus, which is this minus what we want. Okay, I'll just okay, yeah. That is the circle minus. If you click on it, there will be this HTML code snippet. Just click on it. It will copy it, and then you can come it here. You can come here and then paste it. I want this to be in alignment with the what is front end mentor and how it will help me, right? So I'll put it here. I'll add a span element and then put this inside. So basically you can see here, right, how it is positioned in the top, like in front of like everything is, because you can see this is also getting light because it's inside the span is inside the paragraph, right? So what it does is that we have defined the class to be margin bottom 40, the color to be this. So that's why this is also inheriting this color. You can either give a class to be bold something and then like sorry icon, and then what you can do is that you can override the styles. I'll give it a color of black. So see how it is turning to be black, and then so that's how you make the icons. And then like say for example you want to add the plus icon here, add uh, okay, everything is pro. So we have this circle add, right? So circle plus, just copy this and put it inside the div. So I'll just paste it 3 times. You can see how it is coming here. If you want this to be pushed on the right side, what you can do is that you can inspect it. You can see inside the div how it will help me is there, and then there is this I tag, which is like the icon tag. How it will help me, and this is there. Say for example, I want to push it to the right. You can either come to the div or you can go to the dot icon and then give it a margin left of maybe like 50 px, which will move it. Sorry, I haven't applied the icon in the icon class in the other, so it will move it to 40%. So if I give auto, right, there is this property called auto. If I give auto, what happens is that basically because I haven't given the okay, just give me this version of the watch. Okay, I think okay, just we'll just leave it right now for auto. We'll cover it later in the sessions. It's getting later already. I don't want to bore you. You can give hard coded values for right now. 120 px. So basically, how auto works is that you basically give the width of 100% to the whole parent element of the containing element, and then there is, let's say, this icon is there, and if you give margin left auto, what it does is that it pushes it to the whole on the right. That is like margin right in the sense, margin left in the sense here. This is the meaning, right? This strip. So what it does is that it's like combining everything, and then like it automatically calculates and pushes it to the right because you are giving margin left. So yeah, so this is how you build this basic UI, and I think I'm not missing anything more other than uh, the portion of the icons. I'll just put it back where it was. If you want the color to be different, you can change the color. Say for example, if we add a class of like blue here, uh, blue, and then if you dot blue, and then you can give a color of blue here. So basically what it will does is that it applies the class to the all the things here. So yeah, that's how you build it roughly. If there's more time, I can explain the proper layouts, how it does and things. Yeah, I forgot that this should be coming above. uh, yeah, so yeah, that's how you build it. uh, I'll share the GitHub link after uploading the files. And right now, yeah, that's about it. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask me, and I hope I didn't bore anyone with it. So yeah, this is my first time taking this session, so it's a little bit rough from my side. Apologies for that. So and then now Samat will be taking the Git session. It will just be like 5 to 10 minutes. You will see how Git works, and then how to push our files into a repository. Okay. So yeah, thank you.
Okay. If anybody has a doubt with Subramanian's lecture, then yeah, there are a few doubts here, Subbu.
Sure. Sorry. I didn't see. Let me just clarify. What if you want the above image in the card itself? Okay, right. What you have to do is that you'll basically need to create the image tag. Let's say, example, you want it inside the container, right? Let's say inside the container, I'll just create an image tag, and I'll give a source of dot slash, which means the same directory, banner.jpg, and then image. So you can see how it is like uh, positioned here. So say for example, this is in the, I told how it was like static, right? So basically what it means is that right now the thing is like the space is like the padding here is because we have given a padding in the container. You can see above the container we have given 25px padding. So that's why it is here. If I remove this padding, right, you won't see the corners how it is. So that's how you do it. And then that, and then if you want to like make the image go back of the thing, so that's where the image like position comes into play. Let's say for example, if I give this class of uh, backdrop, so I'll just dot backdrop and then position absolute. So see how it like I'll give us z index of -1. So it goes behind the like the content above. So right now the image is not self-contained because it is removed out of the document, right? It is not, before it was self-contained within the container. So basically what it means is that before that you can see how it is like contained within the container because the container has some unique width and height, so the image is contained to it. But if I give position absolute, it is taken out of the document. You can see if I want to move it to the left 40%, you can see how it is moving. And then if I want to give top 90%, you can see how it is moving down. It is not affecting the elements because the elements are still there, and I have given a z index value of -1. Say for example, if I want to give it 20, see, let me reduce the top 40. See how it like goes on top of the everything that's there. So that's how you position absolute. And then if you want this as a, if you want the whole thing as a background image, you can use a background image property which is available. So yeah, that's how. What if, but that particular area must not have any padding. I'm not, what if I want the image to be in the same div, but that particular area must not have any padding of it. See, that's this, okay. So you want it to be like a background image, right? Mishra, are you there in the meeting still? Okay, I'll just show the background image. Yeah, but like upward on the card. Uh, okay, so you want it to be like, uh, let me just put the image there. Back. So like you don't want any padding around here, right? On the like here. That's what you're saying. Okay, I think that's what you're trying to say. Must not have padding of it. Okay, what you can do is that basically you can remove the like you can remove the padding from that, and then you can apply it like I'll tell you. Just give me a minute. Just I'll just give this a padding of 0. And what I'll do is that there's a padding here, right? So either what you can do is that, yeah, you can remove the padding top. That is like you can mess with the padding. The padding top should be 0, and then the whole padding for the thing should be 25px. So what it is that what it does is that actually it covers it, the covers like the edges, and then you can go on to the image. Where's the image? Sorry, yeah. You can give a width of 100% of the parent container. Height is not defined yet because I don't want to give it a height. Uh, let's say I want the height to be like maybe a little 80 px. So right now we can see how little it is. Maybe okay, I'll leave the height to be default. So right now I don't want the padding around here under here. So right now I can do either I can change the HTML structure and then style it, because the whole container has the uh, padding, right? So what I'll do is that I'll go to the thing. So here under the image I'll select all the things. Just give me to select everything. Yeah. I'll select everything, and then like I'll wrap it in an element with another div. So I'll call this child. Okay. So what right now what I'll do is that for the parent I won't have any padding, but for the child I'll have a padding of 25 px. So basically what it does is that right now I have made the container to be of no padding, and then it has an image, it has another section of division called child. So I have given the padding to be here alone. So say for example I don't want the padding on top to be I don't want the padding on top, I'll give it a 0 so that it comes to the top. And you can see right here, right, the image is like little bit not correct, right? So what you can do is that you can go to the image and then you can give a same border radius. If you give inherit, what it will do is that basically it will inherit the value it was given before. So in the parent container, you remember we have given border radius of 18 here, right here. So it takes the border radius here. Say for example, I want the border radius on to be only on the top right and top left. I can give border bottom, sorry, uh, border radius. There are this end start and bottom left, right? So I don't want the bottom left. I want the bottom left to be 0 and the bottom right radius to be 0. So that here you can see it is like rounded only on the corner. I'll just remove the backdrop image, right? Which is the main image what we have, so that you can see it clearly. You can see here alone it is like rounded on the edge and then not on the bottom, because we have defined the uh, border bottom left and bottom right to be easy. So that's how we do it. You can either change the element like structure, and then you can mess with the paddings. It's just all about the padding and margins for the UIs. You can read about it in the MDN docs. I'll put it a message in the group after that. Okay, I think no more questions. Thanks a lot, Mr. for asking this. Yeah, and I think Samat will take over right now. Yeah, Samat, you can start.
Okay, guys. I'm Samat Mishra. I'm a technical lead here at the product house, SRMIST. So, I'll be taking a session on Git. Git it'll be a very small session. I don't think it'll take more than 10 to 15 minutes. And again, this is like Subramanian. This is also the first class I'm taking. But I hope I'm able to convey all the basic knowledge that I have for Git that I want to give to you guys so that you guys can start using GitHub. So, so technically, how many people know what Git and know how GitHub works and everything? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Cool, cool. Okay, so technically, what Git is, it's technically a version control tool. It's like a very fancy time machine, like a very fancy time machine. What you do is you can safely collaborate with other people and you can control all the versions of your code, and you will have the ability to either revert to a previous version or uh, correct your mistakes or anything. It's very helpful. Maintaining a uh, Git repository is ideal, and it helps in collaborating with a lot of people, and it's also recommended if you're doing a lot of coding, like on a very large project. It really helps if you have messed up your logic in the middle and you really want to go back to a previous state. So this Git is technically it will record all the changes on your file and it will keep logs of it, and those logs will be your version history. So I will just introduce basic commands for Git, like so that you guys can start using GitHub and start maintaining version or start version controlling with your projects. It, so I won't be going through all the commands that are there, but the basics that will help you get started. So wait, let me just plug my thing here. So I'll practice it here. Okay, so I will, yeah, okay, so first, so basically how GitHub works is, um, so like, there's this picture that I have, it's very basic. So what it does is, it's gonna record all your changes and it will help you either update them or stage them um, or like merge them with other branches and stuff. So let me get started. So first, if for example I'm building a project in this folder called Get, and there are no files inside Get right now. So like to avoid confusion, I think I'll just open this thing to get it.
Amit,
Okay, yeah.
I'm just seeing your the browser screen. I'm not seeing anything else.
So you guys can see my VS Code.
I can't see. Uh, Click share on everything. Stop present and then start first. Entire screen.
Okay, yeah, I guess now it's working.
Now it is.
Lol. Okay, yeah, alright. Fine, this is the VS Code, and I'm going to be working on this directory called Git, alright? So how we're going to do is the first command would be your Git. You'll have to install Git. You can install it at, like, you can search install Git, and there is this thing here you guys can go to, and you can download it and install it. Once you've installed it, there is this thing that you'll have to do. You'll have to configure your name and your email address in the global variables. So this is how you would do it. You would type git config.
For these commands, first you will need a GitHub account where you can
Yeah. So you
generally.
you should have a GitHub account. I'm sure everyone knows what GitHub is. Like GitHub.com. Everyone has seen it, used it, or some stuff.
Just create an account with your preferred email and password, and then keep it in a note, and then you can write these two commands slash slash global, like these commands will be available in the Git documentation itself, and then username, and then you have to configure these both. So yeah, this is the website. Yeah, so that's the first thing you have to do so that the Git is like initialized on your machine.
Yeah, okay. So technically, you'll need a GitHub account, and what you do is after you install your Git, you have to configure your global variables. There are two things you have to configure. One will be your name, and the other will be your email address. So I guess noting these down, if you guys are interested, it will be really helpful. So first, to configure your name, this is the command that you use. Same thing for email, could be just changing it to dot email. Um, this could be anything. Mine is set up with GitHub, so this could be your own personal email address that you have created an account with on GitHub. So if these two are set, if these two aren't set, what you're gonna do is you're gonna type in the name here. God. Yeah, and this should set it up for you. Yeah, so this is how you would set your name. And the same thing for email. You just type in your email right in
The
this
email
code.
which you have used to create the GitHub
Yeah,
account.
the email that you've used to create your GitHub account. All right. Okay. So now I want to implement a Git, or I want to version control my directory called Git here. So I need to first initialize my Git. The first command would be git init, and
Samad,
this will
someone has raised their hand.
yeah, you can just unmute and speak. Like you don't have to raise your hand or anything. All right. So the first thing you do is you will do git init, and this will initialize um, current your current directory, and will initialize the Git repository for this. Okay. So now that you have done that, I'm going to create a file here. I'll put some random test.html. Yeah. So like I've just created a random file here. So there are these two commands. First would be the git add command, and the other thing would be your git merge or git diff actually. Sorry, git commit. So what your git add does is you can use it to add your files and you can stage
Uh,
it. So you can do git add star. This will select all your files, or you can put the name of the file that you want to add into your staging area. What the staging area is that you are currently keeping it ready to be committed. If I make any changes in here, like if I do like div p or something, yeah. So if I made any changes here, and I will be, and if I haven't added it to my staging area, I will be able to see the difference using this git diff. What it does is it is going to compare the two versions that you have, one in your current, the one which you can view, and the one that you have staged in your Git add thing. So once you have, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add this again. So now there won't be any differences between these two files, and that returned nothing, so there are no differences. If I want, so now I want to commit these changes to to my repo. So the command would be git commit -m, and -m is to just add a message, and it's recommended to add a message like first commit or something. Yeah, so this will tell me that it has committed it to the repo, and the changes have been sent. Now, what you're going to do is now the on GitHub, I'm just going to create a test repo. I'll create like a private repo, and I'm going to show you guys how. Yeah, okay. All right. So I have this repo here. This is completely empty, and I created a private repo. What I want to do is I want to commit all the changes that do here to GitHub, which is going to be remote. So if I want to set that up, there's this command called git remote add origin. And what you guys want to do is you guys will want to include paste this URL over here. What it does is it has added a remote connection to this URL and it has labeled it origin. So if right now there is nothing here, but I have committed, I have put my first commit. So also, if you want to see all the commits you have done in your repo, there's this command called git log, and this is showing the one commit that I had made earlier. with the comment I added, the first commit. So now that I've committed to this repo, I want to push all the changes I have made here to my repository here. So now I've made the remote connection. I've labeled it origin. Now I will just git push um, hyphen u origin. Hyphen u here is set upstream. Wait, what happened? Yeah. Okay. Push. Yeah. Okay. So in GitHub, you have these things called branches. And yes, you can see that this file has been uploaded to my repository, and it has been pushed to my repository, and it's been pushed to this main branch. Now, what branching here is, it's technically what helps you collaborate with a lot of people. So imagine this blue line to be your main branch. So what you do is imagine these dots to be a certain state. Like if I have created this, I have created a one file in my repo. This is my current state of the this is my current state of the repo. All right. So what I could do is if I'm collaborating with like two or three people, what I could do is I could create a branch that will add all these changes to a separate branch instead of this main branch. So like if I want to create a branch, so like over here, if I want to check all the branches that are there on this repo, I could just type git branch. And right now there's only one branch, that is the main branch. So this will be your default branch whenever you open a repo. But now what I want to do is I want to create a branch called SM. Since I am Samath Mishra and I want to commit all my work to a separate branch called SM, instead of committing to the main branch, I would type git branch SM. So what this does is this is going to create a branch called SM. And what I could do is I could switch to this branch using git checkout. Git checkout SM. So I have switched to this branch called SM. So any changes, any commits I do to the repository, it will be done over here in the SM branch. So um, so these nodes that you're seeing, the purple nodes here, these are your commits to these are my commits to a separate branch, and this will not affect the main branch. Um, as you can also see that you can create branchings inside of branching, like somebody can choose this branch and then create another branch here using the same command. But right now I'm not going to complicate it too much so that I can show it to you guys. So right now I have used checkout SM and now I'm in this branch. So like I'm have yeah I create another p tag. So add this file. Just add everything. Yeah. So right now, the branch I've selected is SM. This SM branch has been selected. I'm going to commit my changes into this branch. Since I've selected it, I just have to commit it using git commit. Second, yeah. So I've committed it, and now I'm going to push this git push to origin. Okay, so what this has done here is now that I have made a change here. Um, there are only four p tags here, but this changes, the changes I've updated will not be updated to the main branch. There's a separate branch called SM that I have created. This will be showing all the work that I have done in a, yeah, so there are like five B tags here. So instead of affecting the main branch, I am able to do all my work in a separate branch so that other people are not interfered. Like if there are three people who need the same state, like this is the state, and the three people who are going to work on the state and on three different components, I don't want to mess that up. I will be using branching to create a separate branch. Once once I've done a branch and I've done with my work and I want my changes to be updated to the main branch, there is this thing. So how to change, how to merge? There's this thing called git merge, and to do that, I will first change my checkout to main. Yeah, so if I want to merge a branch with another branch, so the branch I want to merge, uh, like the branch I want to merge with would be like over here, for example, I want to merge SM with main. So I will go to main first, and then now that I've selected main, I will say git merge SM. So what this does is this is gonna merge, look at all the changes in SN, and it's gonna merge it with your with the codes in the main branch. What sometimes what happens is there are conflicts in a file, like there would there might be another p tag here, but with some text in it, and that is something that I haven't done. There is no text in mine, so it will show that. It will say that there's a difference here, and it will ask you how, and you will have to resolve the conflict by either choosing which line, which code you want to keep. And that's how you resolve conflicts between two different files if there is one. Over here, I had no conflict, so it will simply add my uh, missing p tag to the main branch. So now, oh, I haven't switched it yet. Okay, so
Samat,
if yeah,
and the chat box they have asked like to explain merge again. Just explain merge.
yeah, yeah, sure. Give me a sec.
Just see the chat box, no?
Yeah. Okay, so what merge does is okay in this diagram. So I have done all my work here, and this is like the work
Uh,
I'm
uh, sorry for
I
interrupting. I'll just give me a minute, Samat. I'll just like they have asked like Mr. has like we have would have simply committed and pushed, right? So the use of branch is that we have, let's say for example you're working on a big project which has like many big big functionalities. So you are only working on some specific part of it. Say for example right now with HTML CSS we built a card, right? So let's say for example you're only building that card, so it gets implemented in some other part of the website. So let's say you create a new branch because you don't want to work on the main branch because that's where the main hosting is done. So you create a new branch and you work there. And then what happens is that if the code is perfectly all right, and say for example if that's no issue, you then take a merge from the like the your branch which is going to be merged to the main branch, which then creates a streamline which is combining both of these code and then giving the same code in the main website, which will then make your workflow better because you don't want to mess with the main website, and then also the other developers, the other like your co-employees won't have any further delay when they are working on a project. So that's what branches are and for merge. He'll Samat will explain merge also.
okay, yeah. So see what happens is as Subbu explained, yeah. So first, like if for example I'm hosting a site, okay, and the code is given on GitHub, and I'm hosting that site. And if I'm working on this website, I don't want the main code to be affected just yet. I want to I want to quietly work on my own on the side, and I want to do that without interfering anybody else because that's how you are able to collaborate. So if so, we merge the whole branch. Yeah, to the present code in main, you can't merge random code. Um, yeah, like for example, I'm making in the website. Okay, like if Subbu made that site, it's working. Okay, the old version's working. And now what I'm doing is I'm experimenting with a new tool. I'm using new logos and uh, different CDNs to import stuff, import libraries into my page. Okay, and I'm testing all of that. If there are any errors that happened here, if I made an error in this step, I don't want that to permanently affect my main branch. Or if I made an error in this step, then this my main branch will not be affected. I will know that I made an error here, and I will be able to revert back to my state here. Or if I made an error here, I will be able to revert back to my state here or over here. So that's the reason why we do branching. And that is how we are able to collaborate with a lot of people who are working on the same code. Uh, we don't want to change the main code just yet. We want to first experiment on our own, like a sandbox, and then after that we'll merge the whole branch with the main branch. Yeah, so we merge the whole branch. Yeah, we do. The final state that I have here, this is the final state. This will be merged with if the version is over here, if the current version is over here, this state will be merged with this state. And this will, if there are no conflicts between these two states, they will merge successfully, and you will change the code in the main branch, which is like your end game. Yes, the whole thing, your working part, if it is relevant, suitable to the present code in main, you can't merge. And yeah, yeah, got it. It's fine. So we have seen how we initialize a repo. Uh, so since we right now we are version controlling this directory called Git, we initialize it using Git init that will initialize my directory. We add if then once I do that, we add files like any files I add here. Like I've only added one file. Let me add another file. Just uh, two .html. Can I do all this? I just do like dot container h1. Yeah, fine. So these are two files now. So uh, if I want to add these two files, I'll be like git add both the files. We use star to select everything inside the repo, sorry, inside the directory. And this is now we are staging it. Now we have prepped our git to we have prepped these two files, and we're saying okay, we're in a ready state. We want to either commit to this or continue to make changes here. Like if I made any changes over here, what VS Code does is it will show it to you. Wait, I haven't committed it. So wait, if I commit it, git commit. Yeah. So if I made any changes here, what GitHub does is it's gonna show me a green line. Wait, I also need to push it. For some reason, it's not showing me the green line. Yeah, but what it does is it's gonna note all the changes that you do, and it's gonna show it to you. So right now I have two files.
Uh, you
If I
can
show
go
it
to
to you here,
the VS Code. You can go to that version control icon, and then there you can see.
yeah, it should show. I mean,
Make a change. Make a change. make a change in your current
It's okay. For now, I just won't do anything because I think I'm hosting a lot of
lot of
these
your
are these are a lot of pages here.
thinking. No, bro.
Weird thing. All right. If I so this is how I'm going to commit. So like first I what get so like basic workflow again. I'll first add the file. I'll prep it into a staging area. I will once I've prepped it or once I'm ready to commit, I will use git commit. Git commit is done by typing git commit hyphen m. Hyphen m is just the message you want, the comment you want to add with the commit, and you add your comment with quotes. Once that is done, you can push it to your origin. Now, to add your origin, you use the command called git remote, which would git remote add origin, and you're gonna uh, paste the URL of your GitHub repo. So this will create a remote connection to your repository on GitHub. Now, whenever you want to push any changes in your repository, you will use git push, and hyphen u is just an upstream abbreviation, and you will mention the branch you're pushing it to. Now there's one more thing called git pull. Now if I haven't, all right. Now there are two things actually. Forget git. Now like if I create another directory here, I'll say like T1. All right. There are two things you can do. Now, first thing you can do is either you can clone repositories. So I have this URL. What I want to do is I am a new guy. I have I've just started working on the project, and what I want to do is I want to um, start adding my contributions to this repo. So first thing what I would do is I'm going to clone all the files that have been committed to this repo to my local system. Uh, right, so like I would do use git clone, and I will just paste the URL. What this does is it will clone all the files inside the repo inside my directory here. So both the files in my repo have been cloned over here. Then what I will do is I will create my remote connection using git remote, and I will start uh, committing my changes to the main branch, and it'll all be reflected to GitHub. So this is technically how you are going to version control your Git repository, so your project, and the basic Git commands are like just for revision. Um, Git add, first would be Git init, git add, git um, branch, git merge, and git remote, um, git push, and git pull. If you guys, these are like very few commands compared to all the other tools that Git provides you, but these are enough for you to start version controlling your projects onto GitHub. If you guys want to learn more, there is these docs, Git docs. Um, this is documentation, Git, and this has everything. This might be a bit too complicated. There is one more website. Um, just commands. This is a much more simple site to read. Um, most of these, most of the commands, if you're unsure of, most of them can be seen on ChatGPT as well. So it's not really that hard to learn Git. So this is like a very small technical knowledge that you need to have. It's very valuable. Everyone uses Git to version control their projects, and I hope all of you have learned something new from this session. If anybody has any doubts relating to branching or creating a remote connection or what the hyphen U or hyphen M or what merging does, why do we do branching and all. Um, it is it is not that is not the full form of shoot harvested, but that's okay. Once you join the club, maybe I will let you in that secret. Uh, well, if anybody else has any doubts on Git commands, anybody, you can unmute yourself and speak. If there are no doubts, then we can end the session here. All right, Subbu, I guess nobody has any doubts.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, so this is like we'll wrap it up right here. Pratik, anything
Just
to?
a second, just a second. Is anyone having any general doubt regarding the recruitments or anything they want to know about the club, the work culture of a club? Yeah, anything general?
Feel free to speak or just put it in the chat box if you want.
If they want to know about our club, what TPH mission is, they can freely ask.
Any general question, if anyone has. Yes.
Subramaniam, you would like to answer?
Yeah, sure. So basically, the product of SRM IST basically is a blockchain based Web3 club, but like Web3 based like Web3 club, but we basically specialize in technical. Apart from that, we have a corporate and creative domain group, so we give equal. So this is basically a technical club. So this is like if you know a community called the Product Folks, you can search it up online. I'll provide the links. So the Product Folks, what they do is they bootstrap like many products like digital products. So they help to build software and then give funding. So we are part of that. The Product House is an organization by the Product Folks. So we are part of it. So we conduct many sponsors funded sessions, which is basically meaning like we have a lot of uh, sponsors from our side, which they provide to us. So we conduct sessions and then we help people to know about that. So for say for example, there's any blockchain network. So if they are a sponsor for our club, we'll basically take them up and conduct sessions on it. We'll create new events about it and then do. And we'll also have in-house projects, meaning that we'll be like we'll be creating projects in the inside TPH, that is inside the Productors Club of SMXT, and then we'll be showcasing it to our sponsors or let it be any community. We can either uh, like upstream money, or like we can just do it for the project. Like a good idea uh, will make your resume better. Yeah, I think.
Uh,
So.
Basically, I can say that the product house is a community of Web3 enthusiasts where we enable them to learn and build and grow together. So, like the main aim is like making Web3 accessible for everyone. Web3 is nothing but uh, blockchain is nothing but an application of Web3. So, at TPH, we are making Web3 accessible to everyone by giving everyone chance.
It's not limited to Web3 alone, as we have said it in every post. It's open for every any technical. If you are an app dev also, you have in place here. You have a lot of things to learn. So yeah.
You will get a lot of connections here.
Yes.
The connections like you can get nowhere else.
Like what kind of chance? We elaborate. Uh, the chance you get to meet. The first thing is you get to meet a lot of like-minded people. Like plus that, and then the next thing is you get to meet a lot of seniors who are like already at a top level. You can get their guidance, and then the next thing is we are having a lot of sponsors, right? So So they are from like a product which has been like built and maintained for like years and years. So you'll get industry experience also from their experience, like whatever they have done, you can ask about it. You will get to learn a lot of new technical skills. Yeah, this is just a few you can add upon it.
Like our board members, like people, like our board members, our seniors who created this club, they have created a lot of connections which are very valuable. Like personally, me, I didn't know much about Web3 or blockchain, but once I was introduced to this club, I've learned a lot. I've been using blockchain. I've personally been investing on the Aave network, if anybody knows what that is. And knowing about blockchain is like a crazy idea. And a lot of hackathons also, like I've seen, like many hackathons nowadays have a track called Web3, and those tracks win a lot. Like I've seen them all win. So like our club, we have a lot of people coming in, like since we have like a lot of connections with many people like in Bangalore or many people across India who have successfully either opened startups or are part of very big companies like Tezos or um, Coinbase and all that. So these people come in, they will teach you guys about blockchain, how that works. It's still a new technology, it's emerging. People, but it holds a lot of potential because it's decentralized and it's an entirely new concept. So that is what our club is trying to do. We are kind of trying to diffuse the knowledge of Web3 among people. But besides that, we have a lot of, since we are also work with events, we have our own products that come up. We use app dev, web dev, and we require people with such technical expertise to be part of our club. But that is the kind of chance that we are giving you when you join this club.
Uh, Sahil Sharma has asked, like, for technical field, can I learn coding and stuff by joining this club? Absolutely, you'll learn a lot. So basically, what it means that we won't be building like projects every day and stuff, but we'll have inter-house projects. Like it'll be like frequently we'll be building. We'll be having sessions like this. We'll try to improve our sessions. Like basically, we'll have a lot of time at that stage. So we'll be having detailed overview of everything, and then what it means, and plus the community sessions, there'll be a lot of community sessions, so you'll learn a lot about new technology, the trending things, and then yeah, you can collaborate with the club members and then do, yeah, the session was useful.
So,
Thank you,
uh,
sir. Malik,
Yeah, thank you so
thank you a lot.
much.
Yeah,
We will try to make it less boring. It was
yeah,
our
yeah.
first time.
Actually,
So
like we thought of making it more interactive and stuff, but like we got
yeah.
just like
Plus we have like exams tomorrow, so like seriously, we have really taken our time out for you guys today.
just don't be scared about the tasks, just do whatever you can, just like use your creativity to do. And then if you have any doubts, just feel free to ask, DM any of the admins. They will redirect you to the correct path, and then if you want, I'll send some videos based on HTML CSS in the group, so you guys can refer to it and build as much as you can, and don't be scared about the interviews and stuff. Just be curious to learn a lot and then be present.
try to complete everything in the given time frame.
And which
And
branch do you guys? Yeah, so we all are in second years. We are
whole
all
club is
from
whole club is of second years only, right?
second year.
Few first years are there, but most
Few
of us are
first years.
second years.
Most of
Yeah,
us are
but
in
those
second
first
years.
years are also very exceptional people. So
Most of us are of second years only, which are holding the positions in club.
Yeah.
Like Samarth is a technical lead, Subramaniam is vice president of the club.
And then Patik is president.
Patik is president.
Yes.
So I guess we can wrap the session.
Which branch? We are. I'm from CSE core, CTech,
We all are from CSC only.
CSE.
and I'm from DSVS, the worst branch I
Department
can ever get.
varies, but everyone is from CS. CSAIML. Okay, good, good. Then you must be from Central Department. Cool. So I think it's already 11:30. I think we can wrap it up here. If you also on to Samarth.
Yeah, dude, join. I'll be interview. Wait, which domain have you applied for, Danish?
I think he applied for technical only, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, we'll be meeting you soon, dude. Interview. You clear, and I'll tell you what FUTAB stood stand for.
So everyone, make sure to submit your tasks before the deadline. The deadline is 29. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess we can wrap the session. Subramaniam and Samarth, please be there on the meet, and let's rest everyone can leave.
So rest of you can drop off. Thank you for being there.
Bye
Thank you for
bye.
attending, guys. All the best.